Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever the fuck it may be. It is your host, the most of boast. Let's have a toast at 11 a.m. We'll probably wait for that. It's a little too early for me to have a toast with y'all like that, unless it's water. Hydrate, y'all. Don't dehydrate. Anyway, welcome back to the Cast-ket. This is the first time that I am doing this podcast in a new spot. So if it sounds echoey, I do apologize. I'm gonna try my best not to be too robust in your ears, but I completed a move recently. It feels good. I feel revitalized. I feel like this next chapter is already special in its own way. I moved closer towards the city without being in the city. So that's great. I can't wait to explore. I can't wait to venture out, have a more balanced lifestyle and things of that nature. And I'm just ready. I'm open and ready to receive. That is my mantra and my affirmation on a daily basis. And it really comforts me and reassures that things are going to be okay. And this is just the beginning. What I wanted to talk about, and this is very spontaneous, could you believe I actually have a list of topics I want to talk about? But the premise of me having this podcast specifically is to have those moments of like, if I do have spontaneous things I want to talk about, like I said before, I talk to myself frequently and I'll just have conversations with myself. I'll have topics to talk about and I'm like, I should record this. I should sit down, set my stuff up, record, and see what happens. Well, here's another moment. With that list of topics I want to talk about, they will be done in due time, but this one specifically, I really want to get off my chest because this has IRL implications, and I'm going to go ahead and close the door. Welcome me. Come to me in my casket. I don't know what I was trying to talk about or what I was trying to say with that, but bear with me. So, what I want to talk about is investment, right? I'm not talking about just money. I'm not talking about, just one vector of investment. Usually when we hear investment, the first thing that we think about is money, right? Investment in stocks, bonds, investment in, whatever. No. I'm talking about just investments, period. So something happened to me recently where it reminded me that I should still invest in my own time, my own energy, in me, period. Invest in me more than I do other people. To give some context, I, like a lot of people in the world, I love to help people. I love to be there for people. I would be there for people more than myself. I would go out of my own way to make sure that someone that I care about or someone in need would get their joy, their fix. I don't know, just whatever. Like I would go out of my way to be there for people. A situation happened recently where I was reminded that I need to put myself first, not in a selfish endeavor. And I'm only saying that to give the intention of what I'm trying to say, that there are selfish people and then there are people that tend to themselves for growth, for protection, for knowledge, for whatever. Some people will just do selfish things and harm other people, and I feel like that's what would deem whatever action selfish. You know what I'm saying? Me, I'm going to invest in my own time. I'm going to invest in my own money, my own pleasure, my own energy, my own essence. I am conserving me because me is important. I am important to myself, and to have access to me is a privilege. So, because I'm tired of like exuding or having everyone have access to me or to the things that I bestow or possess. Not everyone needs access to you. And I'm learning that more and more and more and more in a healthy, good, intentional way. So you must invest in yourself. You must invest in your own time. You must invest in your own money. You should invest in your own essence. You are important to you. If people and things and situations do not hold you important as you would hold them important, that is not a fault on you. That is a fault on them. I know what I would do for people or for things or for situations. You know my intention. It could be really cut and dry. It could be really simple. But the thing is that reciprocation is not always there. That's when you should go to things, go to places, go to situations where you know that reciprocation is going to be a given. Or if it's not going to be a given, that checks and balances, that reciprocation is going to come, like, more so than not. You know what I'm saying? Versus me communicating with people, talking with people, setting things up, and then things flake or people flake, and it leaves like me salty, it leaves me sour, it leaves me like, I knew I shouldn't have done this. You know what I'm saying? Like, to give you even more of a background, I was supposed to meet up with a friend. We were supposed to just chill, and it just, whatever, it had been some time. We had talked about this, we had communicated this, we had established, like, okay, here's the difference from point A to point B, and we had been talking for several days. And it came down to the person flaking. And I'm a person that understands, like, listen, I'm grown, you're grown, I'm wise, I understand the protocol, okay? I understand our lifestyles, whatever. Things can change, things happen, whatever. Okay, cool. I'm not gonna cry over spilled milk, right? I understand that now that we're older, we're adults, like, hey, things could change on a whim, change on a dime. It is what it is, you know? I'm open to that. What I don't tolerate and where my boundary is where what is that? If now that I moved, there's always some sort of noise disruption or a disturbance with noise. If it wasn't the garbage man, I don't know who's outside right now. It might be a different carpenter on my block, whatever. It's always something. But anyway, the boundary for me is when you give me a dumb excuse, or when you give me a non-legitimate excuse. And at the same time, how can I deem what's legitimate? How can I deem what's like not serious on like the other party? The thing about this is, like, I've given you ample time to essentially do your research. Let's say I'm going to you, right? I'm going to look up the address. I'm gonna see how far it's gonna take me to get there. I'm gonna see, should I get there earlier? Or if it won't work out, I'm going to communicate and be like, hey, this is a little too much. What if we did this? What ended up happening is that I got a shitty response. And I'm kind of just venting right now, but this has some substance, this has some knowledge, this has some, you know, of some value to where I think people can relate, and people could, you know, have a different outlook or a different perspective of like something similar that goes on with them in their lives. But I cannot tolerate and will not tolerate flaky responses, flaky actions. If it's too much for one person to do one thing, at least let me know before the day of, or before, look into it, because I would do that. Like, okay, I'm not about to just, when it comes to the day of for something, don't give me a wish-washy ass answer, because it's gonna rub me the wrong way. Versus like, okay, something happened with my car or my child or whatever. I'm like, okay, you know what? It could happen. It's happened to me. I've known other people that it has happened to them. So I'm not gonna, you know, be pissy about it. Cool. But when I've given you the tools, if we've talked about it, we've communicated it, and we've established a day, I've set aside time. I've set aside my free time, my access to me. I've sacrificed, you know, other things, like I'm cleaning the space, I'm making it accommodable, to be a good host and things like that. And you give me bullshit in return. That doesn't line up. Like, I didn't give you bullshit. Why am I receiving bullshit? But at the same time, now I'm doing an observational take on myself. Like, okay, obviously I'm upset. Obviously I'm not good. Okay, let's try to break it down. Why am I not good? Because old me would have spewed venom on social media. I would have done this. I would have went to substance abuse or whatever. I'm like, no. We've learned, we've grown. I would like to know how to handle and how to cope with this sort of situation. That way, if it happens again, I know what to do, or I can do preventative measures to not put myself in a situation like that more so often. You know, because you can't avoid everything, but you know what? I can avoid a lot with the proper knowledge, with the proper insight, with the proper coping. I'm like, okay, cool. So now I'm looking into how am I feeling right now? Obviously, I'm pissed. Let's break it down a little bit. Shout out to therapy for 6 months. And also shout out to my therapist ghosting me in the process at the same time. I've learned from that mistake as well, or from that situation. But I was reminded of investing more in me, going back to me. I have no problem investing in other people when I know the people that I'm investing into are going to reciprocate. Now, at the same time, you're probably thinking, oh, you're having some sort of expectation with that. Yeah, we do have some sort of expectation when it comes to stuff like that. We would like to be reassured of like the love and the time and the money and the moments that we share, that we give to other people. I'm not just gonna willy-nilly just give my access to me and give my resources, my time, my money, my energy, my essence to people without feeling love or without feeling respect or without feeling something in return. Because if I'm not getting anything back in return, I'm cutting it off. Because I deem myself important. I matter to me. I know what I provide. I know I'm special. I know I'm special to me, and I love giving this to other people, but not everyone deserves to get that. And it is a risk with everyone that you encounter. You know, sometimes it can work, sometimes it cannot work. But I've also have been very observant of how often the bullshit happens too. When, like, picture a seesaw, right? If I give and I am reciprocated with like either the same thing that I've given to you, or just like a hint, like, you know what, they care. I understand that they care, they're important. Maybe something is going on in their life that's cool, you know, whatever. But in this specific scenario that happened recently, I had went out of my way to go to a function in support of them. I care for them as a person. I know how important this function was to them, even though it was going to be a drive for me and it was going to be tweaking my weekly schedule. But I'm like, you know what? I would like to support you and your family in this manner. I'm not doing this for an ill cause. Like, I really want to show you that I care for you as a person. I would like to think, and this is like in conjunction of them hanging out with me at the same time. So it's kind of like a, you scratch my back, I scratch yours. But I really didn't perceive it that way. I really didn't like think of it that way. I just want to do something nice because I'm a nice person. I want to do nice things for nice people. You know what I'm saying? So even if like them hanging out with me could have been canceled, that's fine. You know, like, hey, at least I can support you in this way, and I had a good time too. But when you give me a bullshit excuse, when push comes to shove, it does not bode well with me at all. And I'm trying not to I'm definitely not going to be name dropping because I keep personal things to myself. The world does not need to know like certain individuals in my life. So you're not gonna hear me name drop, but if by chance this person does hear this podcast, and if you feel like it's about you, chances are you know it's about you. But I'm mainly telling this as not like a story, but I'm telling this as far as knowledge and a reassurance for me that I matter. At the beginning of the day, in the middle of the day, at the end of the day, I am going to do what is conducive to me, my happiness, my joy, my sanity, my health, my wealth, me, period. That doesn't make me a selfish person. If you perceive me as selfish, you either, one, don't know me that well, you don't know where I came from, or you're just talking out your ass like the internet tends to do, and whatever, you know? But if you know me, if you known where I've been, if you know whom I've been with, my struggles and things of that nature, you know that I am not a person that asks for a lot. You show me love, I give you love back. Twofold even. You give me respect, I give you respect. Simple as that. It could even be unspoken at this point. It could be that simple. And I will judge your character for me, for my own personal sake, like as we do certain things, as we go, like, as time goes along, right? If you show me love consistently, I show you love consistently. Like, it's that simple. But when you start to consistently give me bullshit and you flake or you do this and then you get pissy that all of a sudden now I'm becoming short with my responses or communication or reaching out. Because here's the thing, it's not that I don't care about you, I just care about me more. I care about me more. I have to. Because I love me. I care for me. If no one else is gonna love and care for me, who's gonna be there for me? Me. I'm going to take care of myself. I'm gonna pick myself up. I'm gonna learn from this observation or this scenario or whatever. I'm gonna learn how much access you should have of me or from me based on how you treat me. And I expect you or the other person to have that standard as well, you know, because you know I'm not gonna give you the runaround. You know I'm not gonna give you bullshit. And if I do, call me out on it, you know. But when you recognize and when you see that I've gone out of my way to do something for you, and you can't even give me like a bare minimum, and you give me some bullshit in return, that's when your access to me gets heavily limited. I continue to invest in me. I am always going to invest in me. My investment towards you or anything else is going to be limited. And it's not because of me, it's because of you. It's because of how you're treating me. Because I can definitely go out of my way, go above and beyond to be there for people that I know for a fact are going to be there for me. I don't have to question it. So, invest in yourself. Invest in your time, your craft, your art, your passion, your love, your hate, your, you know, whatever. Because you are important. I'm going to increase my investment in me so that I'm okay, so that I'm healthy. Do things that are conducive to me. And if people get pissy about it, oh well. Investments are also, I feel like they're in line with your boundaries with people as well. You know, like if people inquire to know like, hey, how come you're not talking to me that often, or how come we don't do this? I'm gonna tell you straight up what it is. And you can be pissy about it, or you can learn from it. We can talk together. I would love to, I'm one of these people, I really, at this point in my life, I don't want to just say, that person's wrong, that person's a piece of shit, whatever, and just leave it like that. No, I'm gonna give you context. I'm gonna give you a little bit of information as to why, this is why I don't talk to this person anymore, or this is why we don't talk, this is why we don't hang out as much, this is why, because I feel like it's healthier to give, it's a thread of a conversation. It's not just, I don't talk to you because of this, or I don't talk to you because you're flaky. I'm gonna tell you why you're flaky. I'm gonna give you the scenario and what led up to this. And then you can judge it from that point on. But as far as me extending my reach, extending my energy, extending access to me, I gotta retreat it back. Because my energy and my essence and my time, my money, me, is vital to me. It's the most important thing in my life. It's conducive to my life energy. And if I give it to you, that means I care. That means I consider you important. But when you flake, when you give bullshit, you're showing that you don't really value that person or that thing as much as you claim that you do. So that's not a reflection of me, that's a reflection of them. So, you know, I'm treating this as it is what it is, but this definitely has some layers to it. It was like a wound that I was reopening, and I had to like talk to certain individuals just to like vent it out, get it out, vent it out and get it out. My goodness, this acoustic in this room is crazy. Hopefully it gets fixed over time when I like try to figure out how to muffle it down. But so thank y'all for bearing with me. But I'm going to continually invest in me. I am important. You should be important to yourself as well. And it's okay if things change. That's fine. That's just the nature of the beast. That's just the nature of like how life is. But I'm getting back to me. I am tending to my garden. Because I can't like continually go somewhere else and not tend to my garden. I'm gonna weed out, I'm gonna dry out and die. I refuse to do that. So tend to your garden, tend to your roots, tend to your plants, tend to your foliage. That is your body, that is your spirit, that is your mental, that is your health, that is your wealth. Tend to those. If they're there for you, be there for them. And learn when you need to cut out certain scenarios, certain people, certain whatever. If it's not reciprocating that same love, that same whatever that you give. I deserve to be surrounded by things that give back to me as I give to them. You know? Because I want to feel appreciated. I need reassurance as well. If I'm able to give it to you, please give it to me too. That way we can keep that healthy communication, that healthy thing going. I could definitely expand on this, but I think I'm not going to. This might be a short podcast, even though I'm looking at 23 minutes right now of raw footage, but I appreciate y'all for listening to this. I hope this is helpful in some sort of way. I feel like I am aggregating a lot of spit. I don't understand why I'm doing that. But like I said, this is the first podcast in a new place. Hopefully I can try to figure out, man, they are going ham outside. I can figure out how to properly do better noise with this. Maybe I can move to a different room for this sort of thing. But I love you. I appreciate you. Hopefully you have a great day. Hydrate. Invest in yourself. Put more stock into yourself. Okay? So you can be on the come up and you can continually grow, continually nurture and be better. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes you gotta weed out these people that obviously don't deem you as important as they say, as they claim. I go by the saying, everybody can talk. Everyone can talk, but not everyone do. Not everyone does. Not everyone shuts the fuck up and just do whatever they keep talking about. I would rather do and then talk. I'll shoot and then ask questions later. Take that as you will, but that's pretty much it. No matter how much, my God, is that a lawnmower? I don't know what that is, but they need to stop. I should probably stop. No matter how much it hurts to move forward, keep that PMA. Check out glitchXgrave.com for more podcasts. Check out the Fusion Struggle podcast as well. It is on the website. Shout out to my brother, Sonn Rondue. We're doing big things, big rebranding, big things on the way, and we just working. We're investing in ourselves. You know what I'm saying? I love you. Miss you. Peace out, y'all.